Welcome back to My Girlfriend's Slutty Virgin Anime Review Part 3. Yep, the end of this particular anime review series. What am I talking about this one? The OVA. The one and only OVA. Yep, this one has a couple different segments with this one. First off, the first part of this thing is stuff we've already seen before. We have Haruko and Akina going to a love hotel. Though you actually build an extension, like you see here, basically checking in. You don't have the thing of basically unlocking the door. Yeah, they actually don't have that here. Then most of the put right after that, it's stuff you see from the post-credit scenes. And after they leave, and of course they go to that virtual reality parlor, which is where the OVA picks up. Where, yeah, like the only way to leave is you have excitement, basically have to have sex, and they attempt to leave, and of course Haruhu basically, as penalty, gets oh my gosh, this was so dumb. Like that, this machine was attempting to set an object up his rear end, and look, I was like, no, I'll take a punishment instead. So the machine proceeds to, well, first it basically tries to stop her by, well, first taking off her coat, and then proceeds to remove her panties. Yep. And then, of course, the object is about to go inside of her, and then I was like, no, we'll do it. And, of course, she's still kind of tied up, like she's somehow bondage. And she tries to put, like, a hole, like a button back in. And somehow, after moving the rope, somehow, some way, her top falls off, and her bra, and her skirt falls off where she's completely naked. And Haru's like, man, first time I've seen her without her clothes on. And it's like, okay, Duke 7's like, they're about to do it, and, well, he's already pretty much already down to his underwear, he's about to do it, and they get interrupted, and of course they had to stop because they've already been satisfied, because the two puppets they bought the previous day got into a position. Apparently the computer read that, and they basically just fell through a hole in this bed, and of course she's basically in his arms. Oh yeah, and they're perfectly fine. It's like, man, we're progressing our relationship really well. But that's it for that first segment. Second one is simply put this, where you have most of the cast of the series, minus the gay classmate. Well, basically the main characters anyways. Basically you have Haru, his sister, Rita, and his childhood friend, where, like, apparently they failed the health portion of the exam, so they had to make it up with the school nurse by playing a game called the King's Game. It was just called the Ball King Game, and Akina was the assistant. And, like, they try to have to do various things, like try to ride the ball, like, oh, we get the ball? No, we have to ride the King's balls. What? Yeah, or, like, roll them, or it's like, what? Okay. And, like, they even tried this cute one, basically, where, like, put a stick in their mouth, but chew the way together. Okay. It is so bizarre, this one. And eventually look like they're about to do it, and it's like, no, I'm not going to do it. Of course, there's the head nurse, like, man, I was hoping to hear some... It's like she was expecting to hear Haru have himself an orgasm, or at least an orgy, and like, nope, didn't get it. And of course, well, let's do this other game. Like, nah, let's do another game, and you'll find out later. And that's where the OVA ends. Like, wow, what a bizarre OVA. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's the last thing they released. This was released about at least 2 years ago. Yeah, the release is like 3 months after the main season already ended. Unknown why that the series never bothered to finish adapting its stuff, I have no idea. Yeah, it's completely unknown if in fact that the series actually bothered to finish. But, yeah, that's the end of the series. It is by far an odd thing to have for this OVA. Because I get the fact of the character relationship, they have all these various hijinks. But man, oh man, this was so bizarre. The whole King's Game thing, this is actually the third time I've seen it in anime. Like, I've seen it in Fairy Tail and an OVA for that one. They did it for an episode of my first girlfriend's a gal, and this series. The third series I've actually seen this game played, though this is a variant called the Ball King game, which, yeah, this is so bizarre, to say the least. The first half was just weird, but that's the series of the whole second half of this OVA was just wow. The thing is, it's not surprising because of how the head nurse is and how she's obsessed with having sex with students. I'm like, why is this woman fired for basically the stuff she's doing? My guess is because she's a school nurse. They probably don't care, or probably the fact that, well, here's the thing: the only person who knows that she actually does this, aside from the students she does it to, is her close friend, the gym teacher, and she doesn't really care. Nope, doesn't care report at all because she just doesn't care. It's none of her business at all, and yeah. But not much else to say about this OVA or this series. Like, the series is a good animation. I like it. Like, some of the stuff basically was hilarious at best. But this is a series that probably some people probably not would talk about. The only reason I decided to review it was because it was really, really short. That was the only reason why. I like in the case of My First Girlfriend's a Gal, where I actually got some enjoyment in that series. This one was just pure comedy, at best. Yep. But yeah, that's it for this particular review, and that's it for this review series. Now, my next review I'm going to do is, well, review for the Case Closed shorts. I'm going to do those next. And if I get time to, I might get a chance to start on my review for my next series I'm going to do. My review right now is going to be, Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? Yes, I'm actually going to do this series. This series I actually have heard of before. Yes, I have. I heard about it once when someone was promoting the second season of the show, but I'll be happy to basically start this particular series, okay? But do this in the next video. Bye.